Good morning, good morning. Welcome to today's coffee chat. Welcome. I'm so happy to see you. I missed you. I was stepped away from being here on YouTube, really all of social media, because of a special project. And oh, I am so excited about the project. It's really a career dream come true. I'm not allowed to tell you about it yet, but I'm looking forward to when I can. But things have quieted down on the special project front, and so I'm really excited to be bringing these coffee chats back to you, to be inviting you back into my kitchen for a little cup of coffee and a chit chat about everything food and nutrition that's on my mind. I invite you to click the subscribe button so that every week you don't miss one of our videos and the opportunity to join me here to have a little casual friend chit chat over nutrition and food. We're in the height of summer. We're heading into another summer long weekend. And so what's on my mind today is about how to navigate summer trips, going to the cabin, to the cottage, road trips, camping, how to navigate eating for those, to be enjoying, so you're not feeling restricted, but also not falling off the deep end with your eating habits as well. That's what I have a ton of clients asking me about right now, and so I wanted to share my advice with you. The first thing about when it comes to special weekends, special weeks, is to change really more of like a philosophy or a mindset level around it. Because what's ubiquitous in our culture, what everything we hear about is that to be healthy, you need to be 100% committed to eating clean. You have to be strict. You have to be following this meal plan. And that just, quite frankly, isn't the truth. What we look at what the research shows is that our health is really the sum of our habits. When you look at things over the weeks, over the months, over the years, what are our choices? What are those small things you're doing most days? That's what determines health, not what you do on one particular weekend. That really doesn't matter. And yet the kind of the common thinking is that, yes, you need to be strict, you need to stick to your plan, health requires 100% commitment. And it's not true. It's more like the Pareto law, like the 80-20 type of rule. And so really, when it comes to how to survive, how to handle special weekends in summer, the first is to change the mindset. Because that all or nothing thinking, that 100% thinking, it really sets us up to fail. I already mentioned, it really isn't true to start with. And then I see two really common consequences from that thinking. One is that when you go on these long weekends, these special weekends to the cottage, camping, whatever, often you'll eat more indulgently. You'll have more treats. You'll do more pleasure things. And so that rigid all or nothing thinking is like, well, I didn't do it all, so I'm doing nothing. And I'm going to then just fall off my healthy choices and no longer follow this. And you completely fall off the wagon and just stay off. So no, one weekend with a little extra indulgences is not worth completely falling off all your healthy habits long term. The second common outcome of this all or nothing rigid thinking is that you then, since you've been overindulged on the weekend, you need to come back and be extra strict, extra rigid, extra 100%, like punishing yourself. But it's often under the guise of being, I'm going to be extra good versus a punishment, but really it's more of a punishment for the overindulging you just did, if you're actually honest with yourself. And again, then extra good, extra restriction is just going to make you build up, and then another deep dive off the habits and more of like a binge type of thing, and then you're going to feel bad about that, and then you're going to overly restrict again, and it just creates this awful cycle. So I recommend not getting on that cycle at all. Changing up that all or nothing thinking, because it's just not true in the first place and it sets you up to fail. So instead, find a healthy balance. An analogy that I like to use is to think of strong trees in the wind. If you've ever seen trees in the wind, they're deeply rooted, they're strongly rooted, but they're flexible, right? The trees that survive a windstorm are ones that can bend and flow with the wind. And that's what I want you to be with your eating habits. Be strongly rooted in your healthy habits, and then do a little bit of adjustment with the different winds that come. And so, yeah, on the weekend, you might have a little bit more indulgence, and then when you come back, you just return to your roots. A couple of more concrete steps. Okay, you're like, okay, Kristen, a little mindset, a little airy-fairy, let's get to some concrete actions. Here's some concrete actions of how to be healthy while still enjoying your special week away, your vacation, your cottage time, your camping time. One is to include something active. I mean, summertime is a great time to be active, whether it's going for a walk, a hike, swimming, water skiing, riding a bike. I mean, it's endless, but do include some physical activity each day. A second step is to keep hydrated. It's extra important in the summer months when it's hot out. And I mean hydrated with things that aren't sugary. So mostly water, maybe some iced tea that you've made that's unsweetened. Maybe you make some spa water with like cucumber and mint and enjoyable aspects like that. Bring your travel water bottle with you and stay hydrated. A third is to really embrace the beautiful bounty of summer produce that we have, right? Go to the farmers markets as a part of your trip. Stop by the local spot and, enjoy the beautiful watermelon, the beautiful peaches, all the amazing fruits and veggies. It's not about the I got to eat some vegetables, but really enjoy that as a part of summer, right? The corn on the cob, the beautiful cucumbers that crunch like they just don't the rest of the year. In-season tomatoes. They really embrace the summer fruits and veggies and make those a staple. A fourth tip is, especially if you do have access to a kitchen, like you're staying at a cabin, a cottage, or perhaps you can do a hotel room with a little mini kitchen in it, start with your healthy breakfast. Have your same healthy breakfast, and then that just starts the day on an even keel, even steady energy, even steady blood sugar. And then if the day progresses and you get a little indulgent, okay, but you've started the day in a good way. So we talked about including physical activity, hydration, the joy of summer produce, having a healthy breakfast. A fifth tip is to make sure you're including protein and healthy fats at each of your meals. Proteins and fats help us keep full longer, help us keep that steady blood sugar. Because when we're on that blood sugar roller coaster, we're going to go high and then we're going to crash and then we're going to crave the junk and we're going to go high again, and it just sets you up to be overindulging. And then the last tip is to really tune in to the treats and pick and choose what's going to bring you the most pleasure. Like, be a little, I won't want to say picky because that has a negative connotation, but demand the best of yourself, right? If there's going to be a plethora of different treats through the day, pick and choose the ones that bring you the most pleasure, right? Maybe you want that cocktail at the end of the day down at the dock. Okay, choose that one. But when the bowl of chips comes around and you're not really into them, don't just graze on them. Save it for the cocktail. Maybe somebody you're staying with, or maybe it's you yourself, makes beautiful pies with all the summer fruit, right? Have that, but maybe the cocktail isn't for you. You're like, booze, schmooze, I don't really care, but that pie is what I'm all about. pick and choose what will bring you the most pleasure and enjoy those without the guilt. And just kind of brush off the stuff that's just kind of around, but doesn't really do it for you. Those are my tips for enjoying the cabins, the cottages, the camping, the road trips, all the special weekend and special stuff that we do in the summer. How to find that healthy balance of enjoying it, but also not giving up your healthy habits altogether. How to be deeply rooted in your healthy choices and just bend with the wind like a tree. If you liked today's video, let me know. Click the little thumbs up button. And again, I'll remind you to click that subscribe so that I can connect in with you again next week. Have a wonderful week, an amazing long weekend, and I'll see you back here next Thursday morning at 7 a.m.